Welcome to Couple Reviews, where we mourn the loss of Joe. My very good friend Joe. I'll never see him again. He just gave everything. He gave me his hand. He just rolled with the punches and stuck with me even when I let him down. And then he went down the garbage chute. And I wasn't a good friend to Joe. But we're gonna dedicate this video to Joe and his contribution to our story. So last time I played Scorn while talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas and the romance within said film. Today I'm going to be talking about Oh, thank you for leaving. That's very convenient. Today, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts and something specific in Kingdom Hearts. I'll get to what this discussion is about specifically in a minute, but first let me lay the groundwork by just talking about Kingdom Hearts in general. If you don't know what Kingdom Hearts is, first of all, what are you doing with your life? Second of all, Kingdom Hearts is a crossover of Disney properties with some Final Fantasy stuff in there too, where you go these different worlds and which each world is based off of a different Disney property, and you fight these monsters called the Heartless as a Keyblade wielder. He plays a guy named Sora. He has these friends named Kairi and Riku. Kairi is the love interest for Sora, and Riku is like his bro, who's also a Keyblade master. And in the first game, Sora, Kairi, and Riku, their home gets attacked by the Heartless, and their planet gets sucked away. It's on a temporary basis. Hang on just a second. Excuse me, my good man. I think I need your canister, if you don't mind my taking it. Well, you don't need to go to pieces about this. You weren't using it anyway. And when they lose their home, Sora obviously goes on this journey of fighting the Heartless, trying to fix this mess. Riku gets duped into helping the bad guys and being the vessel for the main villain. And Kairi gets knocked out. We find out later that her heart was inside Sora this whole time, so that's why she's just been staring blankly, not doing anything for the entire game. Well, up until the end. So at the end of the game, Sora beats the villain. Riku goes into another plane of existence on a temporary basis, having been snapped out of his madness that the villain put him in. And Kairi wakes up, but I believe she gets separated. Wait, hang on. Yes, she gets separated from Sora. Sora goes off to another unknown world until later. And then so then we go to the next game in the series is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. In that game, Sora and Riku find themselves in the Castle of Oblivion, and Sora throughout the game is losing his memories of his friends in his life before and the events of the first game. They both are getting their memories rewritten so that they are remembering a girl named Naminé instead of Kairi. And they start fighting each other because they both think that they're getting in the way of them and Kairi when Naminé, when really they're not. And then Kingdom Hearts 2, Riku is like doing things in the background while Sora is going off on his adventure, and Kairi is just sort of at school for most of the game, and she's not really participating in things until she gets kidnapped, in which point she joins into the story. So Kairi has a very weird, unusual place in the Kingdom Hearts series. This is a character that the games put so much emotional weight behind, and yet this is a character that the games give so little to actually do. Throughout so much of the game, Sora's motivation is getting back to Riku and Kairi, especially. Like, she's like his driving force and just the one who's caring for him when he's caring for so much. And yet, her screen time is so very little throughout most of the Kingdom Hearts games. Meanwhile, Riku, he's not the love interest, but he's so active all the time. Whenever there's stuff going on, Riku is doing his parts one way, or whether he's on the good guy's side or being tricked into being on the bad guy's side. He's always doing stuff all the time. He's always fighting. He's doing stuff the hard way. He's multiple times he's been a playable character. He was playable for like half of Chain of Memories. He was playable for half of Dream Drop Distance. And there was, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora and Riku fight the final boss together in such a bro moment, where they're looking out for each other, where they're like having each other's backs the whole time. It's just hang on. I don't know what I ever did to you to deserve this, but okay. Is this about Joe? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do what I did to Joe. It was an accident, but I'll take my punishment anyway in Joe's honor. Oh, a gun. How convenient is that? I'm alive? He wasn't killing me, he was hugging me so I could have him as a weapon. What? That... Okay, I have a gun now. Well, I've never gotten a gun like that before. Okay. Only in Scorn could that happen. Only in Scorn could this be a thing. So, Kingdom Hearts, as I was saying before I was so gloriously interrupted, Kairi has such a small part in these games, despite the fact that she's supposed to be such a big emotional driving force. And Riku is like, he's an emotional driving force. He's a smaller emotional driving force that they put a little bit less of the emphasis on in terms of Sora's feelings, but he plays such a much bigger part of the games from an activity perspective. So, let me tell you what my discussion here is about in this video. I'm of the opinion that I am of the opinion that Riku and Kairi should have been the same character, because Kairi has so little to do and yet Riku has so much to do. Okay, hang on, I think I need to puncture the thing when it comes around. There we go. Okay, it's that one. No, it's not, that was that one, hang on. Wait, it was that one a second ago. There we go. There we go, okay. We got it, you guys. Now my thing is fully done. What do we do? We done something good, I'm sure. Now imagine this. Sora and Kaiku. We'll call it, in this new timeline we're inventing, we're saying, what if Kairi and Riku were the same character? So we're going to refer to this character as Kaiku. So imagine, beginning of the game, Sora and Kaiku are living their best life on the island, bonding with each other, having strong feelings for each other, and then when the Heartless come, Kaiku gets separated from Sora, and then Sora and Kaiku go on their respective journeys, and Sora is missing Kaiku, and yet Kaiku is like taken over by the darkness and starts fighting against Sora near the end, and that's his. And what hurts is that that's his love interest that he's having to fight throughout this. And then in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory, when their memories, remember how I said their memories were being tampered with so that they each remember Naminé instead of Kairi, and then they start fighting over Naminé. What if their memories being tampered with so that they remember Naminé instead of the other person, so that they're ironically fighting over the person, so they think that they're fighting over Naminé when they're remembering memories of each other, so they should be trying to be with each other because of those memories of each other, but they're fighting each other because those memories are being stolen away from them and getting them to think they're competing with each other, pitting them against each other. That would have been such a dynamic and a half. And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, what would you really be missing by taking out the part that Kairi played up until the end? I mean, apart from Sora missing her the whole for so much. I'm a little bit lost, so I'm gonna pick this up when I find out what I'm supposed to do. Hang on. How silly of me! Of course, I just need to summon another gateway. So I think that every game in the series that involves Kairi and Riku would have been better off if they were the same character, because that would have been such a combination of attachments to these characters that would have just enhanced all their interactions. Like that ending of Kingdom Hearts 2, imagine if that was his love interest that he was fighting the final boss with. And you wouldn't even need to sacrifice that much, because like I'm saying, we're not replacing as much, we're just combining. I think that this should be like a good example of let's look at this in retrospect to see how we can do better with other endeavors. Is why. So it's not just saying, well, you just made a mistake and now so there's more to it than just pointing out their mistake in this video. I mean, this guy died with his hand in the glove. Am I sure I want to put my hand in the glove? Oh, I don't have a Peter Parker device, right? I lost that a second ago when we blew. I think it was when we blew up. I lost my Peter Parker device, so I'm gonna have to get another one of those. It might be on the other side of open another one of those gate things. Where do I find that? Well, I think you're the only one who haven't tried yet. That's a pretty good way of communicating information without dialogue, because when he just looked at his hand, I knew exactly what that meant. No, I've been here before. No, I've been here before. Where am I going? I thought that I hadn't been through this hallway before, but I have been through this. Okay, apparently there is one more tunnel. Oh! My perspective was warped when I came back from a different way. So that's right now. Yeah. Have I been here before? I've been here before. Okay, maybe I just need to further explore that other place with the red glowy stuff. I can't remember if I'm going the right way for that. Yes, I am. I already got you, didn't I? Oh, I didn't. I needed to do that after I got it enhanced with things. Okay. Okay, where are you going? Do I just need to be really quick? Oh, maybe I just need to get one more enhancement so that all 4 of them go down. Yeah, I can't do that, so I think we just aren't ready for this thing. So I'm guessing like I've gotten 3 enhancements to my thingamajig, which is why 3 of those things go down. So now we need to find 1 more. Now I found something that should lead to another enhancement. The thing is, I need a Peter Parker device in order to get to it, but I can't find Peter Parker anywhere. I don't think I've gone this way. This looks no, I have gone this way. Oh, this is how I got here in the first place. Aren't I so smart, you guys? Aren't I? It's just the smart. What's this? Well. Peter Parker, we found him. Okay, finally. There we go. There we go. Now then, if only I just need to find where I found that thing before, where we use the Peter Parker device. You don't open because you're a weird door. All the doors like that have not opened. Maybe it's like a Metroidvania type of thing where I get a gadget later on, and then that opens all those doors. But this doesn't really seem like a game where you can go back to any area. It seems like it's just sort of move on from a place and you can't go back. If only I could remember which way is I've gone in this way. I think it's this one, because I think the other one in between those two is a dead-end place. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes, we have the thing. Oh, the one. Okay. I was wondering how flooding tunnels with acid benefits us. It's the one with the bodies in it. We're gonna melt all the bodies away, and then that's going to free the way up for us. That wasn't the one with the bodies, it's this one. Okay, so I don't think it would benefit us to melt this one, but I'm just gonna be thorough just in case. I mean, that probably didn't do anything at all, but just being cautiously cautious, I suppose. Now, from this view, I'm going to go to the second one to the left is the one I need to get to so I don't get lost for the millionth time. Everybody remember that. Alright. Second one to the left. There. There we go. Okay, yes. Now we are on new territory we've never been to before. We are. Yes, there's an. Yes, we are. This is another enhancement thingy. Or my thingamajig. Had to rely on hearing the click when it's in place. So now, my injector device is completely enhanced, so now I can get all 4 of the sacks to go down. That is a sentence you could only say in this game and have it be normal. Okay, we're on the right track. Yes. Okay, finally. Now we're fully enhanced and we're ready to hit all 4 of the sacks. But, wait, where are you going with my fully enhanced device? Alright. Maybe we won't need it anymore. Oh, now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? You... Okay. Do I need to start talking about romance in the Kingdom Hearts again? No. It's not all lost yet. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can't go further to the left if any of them are blocked off, but I have to block them in order to get them to turn correctly. So, thankfully, they're all locked into specific places that they have to go in terms of how far to the left or right they are. So, it's not like I have to figure out which one goes where. So, let's see. Yeah, I can align them all now. Okay. So that one, we need the second one from the right to go 1 notch down. And then, yeah, so that's looking, maybe it's 2 notches down. No, 2 notches down, sorry. Yeah, now we're correct. And then the third one is supposed to go way up there. Okay, that's far enough though. Oh no, we're going to that, okay. Oh, now they have to go through there, okay. There we go. Okay. Now, what are you gonna do for me? Hey, what are you? Hey, there. You look less shrivelly comparatively to the other people I've been seeing. You're making me think that I should help you, and yet you don't seem to be helpful, so I'm just gonna have to move on. Well, are there any of these other? No, that was the only one. Okay, so, but what do I need this device for? Oh, the doors! the Castlevania doors we talked about. There we go. Okay, ooh, I think this might have been an area yes, this is an area from way before that I couldn't open up because I didn't have the thing. Yeah, I remember being here, and I remember talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas here in a previous video that you should watch if you haven't already, which you should have, because this is the second part of the series, and that The Nightmare Before Christmas video was the first part of the series. What's happening? Is my gun betraying me? Maybe this, maybe it wasn't, maybe this isn't what it looks like, because last time I thought it was killing me, it ended up giving me a gun, so... I don't know why my gun just randomly felt like it needed to stab me. You know how that is. Nothing to take personal, of course. So this was an even earlier part of the game, except now we have a gun that stabs me and a remote control that opens up the doors. There's a door. We can now just twist the thing and then it knows that you mean business and should open up. So Kairi and Sora, they're like a couple that's... It works when she's there, but she's never there, if that makes sense. I love how they put so much emotion into the star thing that she gives him. There's this star necklace thing or something that I'm so emotionally attached to it, so you can tell by me calling it or something, where she gives him the star thing. And at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, right? And she tells him, you better bring it back to me in a, endearingly aggressive, cute way. And then he keeps that star on him throughout the entirety of Chain of Memory. And then he still has it on him in Kingdom Hearts 2, and then he gives it back to her at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. That got me almost choked up. But... imagine how much more of a gut punch it would have been if that was also the same person that you fought the final boss with. Because she's been absent for so much of the game. Like, she's such a cute character that people love her, and even though she has such little screen time, and the games keep insisting I don't have enough glowy buttons for that thingamajig and my twisty thing. You know, the games keep insisting on Riku having such an active presence. Well, why are they not so insistent on Kairi having such an active presence? She gets trained to be a key... Even with her Keyblade wielder training, they tease that at the end of Dream Drop Distance, and then throughout Kingdom Hearts 3, she just, every so often, you just see these random cutscenes with her and Axel where they just say that she's allegedly training. You don't actually get to see the training, you just know that she is training to be a Keyblade Master. And then that's basically her participation in the story until the last few chapters, few levels. And even in the last bits of Kingdom Hearts 3, she ends up getting blasted away into possibly being dead, but probably just being a damsel in distress, and that's... Oh, Kairi, when will you ever get to do stuff? In a substantial manner, I mean. I now have enough glowy buttons. Thank you. Hang on, my gun is tired. There we go. When are you ever going to die? Thank you. How do I regenerate health? Is it just slowly gonna regenerate itself? Do I need to stab you because you move? Not used to things moving, so... Alright. That's great, but can you give me control again so I can kill the thing over there? Thank you. Gotta do this in a hit and run fashion. Got him. I don't think doing that made a new path for me. Do we need to activate it again? Okay. Re-rolling the dice to see if I get a better number this time. Oh, do I have like a limited time to... Why can't I go there? Maybe I did have it right a second ago and I just need to get up to that higher platform. Okay, I probably just need to get up there. So now that we have that where it should be, I just need to get up there somehow. But how do I do that? And we should probably reconfigure this one so that the one up there is also letting me through the walkway. Yeah. Oh, look at that, another enemy for me to kill. This one looks a little different. Ow. It's very different. Stop that. Okay. Thankfully, that thing did not need to take as many hits to die because that was dangerous. Look at my health. I'm almost dead now. And that thing had farther flying, quicker flying projectiles that were much harder to avoid. Aha, we found the walkway we needed. There's something here that I need. Oh, I've already gotten you. I think that gave me another glowy button. Okay. Oh no. Okay. I thought all those things were going to attack me while I had low health. I'm guessing what's going on is this is some sort of like parasitic thing where it's gonna eventually kill me, but it'll let me use its gun in the meantime, so I just need to make sure I've gotten the use I need out of it before it kills me. So it's not doing this out of the goodness of its heart. It's like parasitically feeding off me or slowly killing me. This way? No. Not that way. Okay, I don't know why you keep stopping if it's not my stop. Am I supposed to be getting off in ways I am not grasping? This time, yes. Please tell me this is not where I just came from. It's not where I just came from, okay. Okay, so now, okay, so this place is now open up to us. What kind of Dr. Frankenstein place is that? Or are we going to build, oh, well, you know what, guys? I think I might leave this episode here. Wait, hang on. Heal? Wait, hang on, heal? Oh, that's what that thing was. Oh. Oh, this witch is gonna die. Come on, bring it. You think I'm scared of you now that I know how to heal? There we go. You know what, guys? I just might not leave this episode here. Hang on, I'm gonna calculate how long I've been going for. So wait, multiple weapons? Multiple weapons? Since when? Reload and switch, since when? Toggle inventory, since when? Toggle weapon. Okay, I don't actually have other weapons to switch between, but I can just see everything on my person with the triangle button. Excuse me, the Y button, as this game calls it. I don't know why it is that games on Steam always use the Xbox controller for the frame of reference for the controllers. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because Xbox controllers were compatible with PCs before PlayStation controllers were. Can I heal again? No, I can't. Maybe I'll find more healy juice later. Yeah, this game has not been presenting names for things. I wonder if the developers just have like, the developers had to have had names for stuff when they were making the game in order to communicate with each other. So I wonder if they like sworn to secrecy about what things are called because things aren't supposed to have names to them. Because this game has no dialogue and words. I'm guessing I'm supposed to go away from the Dr. Frankenstein table thing. That's not a table. I was wrong about what this is. I'm probably just gonna have to go on 5 other quests to get the enhancements I need for this thing to work. Let's just see what this is about first. This looks very familiar. It feels like I've been here before. Yes, have I just, either I've just been here or this is an identical place. So where do I get the thing to put there? You know, guys, I'm running around in circles, and I've stopped talking about the topic that this video is supposed to be half about a while ago, and I'm kind of dying because of this gun monster on my back. I'm kind of feeling like this might be the end for me, Yes, you know what, guys, I think I might just leave this episode here. I feel like I've said my piece about the topic. Kairi and Riku are examples of maybe sometimes fewer characters is better because you could have just had more focus put onto them, and then the goodwill and attachment to these characters you've had would have been combined with each other, and you wouldn't have needed to take nearly anything out because you would have been able to have one character do pretty much everything that the both of them have done collectively. So keep that in mind in your writing endeavors, I guess. I want to clarify something. You might have watched this and thought, Knight, is this seriously all you have to say about Sora and Kairi after all the games they've been in? The answer is not really. I mean, the main topic of discussion for this particular video was supposed to be this idea that Kairi and Riku should have been the same character. I wasn't actually setting out to summarize a complete review of everything about Sora and Kairi in this video. So I am definitely going to play Kingdom Hearts 4, and I'll perhaps make an entire other video just about the romance in Kingdom Hearts 4. So my point is, I'm not locked out of making another video about Sora and Kairi, so if you were hoping for me to talk more about them, don't say never, I guess. I mean, it probably isn't going to be the only video I ever make about Kingdom Hearts. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and not have more characters than you know what to do with.